I don't know about you guys, but I can't sit through a 10-minute YouTube video on how to make a cheesecake from scratch. I have my own cheesecake recipe that I'm going to walk you guys through that doesn't take that long, and you find all the ingredients in your cupboard, very basic, and it's a really, really good cheesecake. Your family and your friends are going to think that you're some gourmet cook when you whip up this cheesecake, and you can act like you slaved for hours.
Recipe, you don't need a special springboard pan, but if you have one, that's what you want to use. If you don't, you can use a simple cake pan. Now, this is how flexible this recipe is. I find that sometimes my cheesecake sticks. So what I do to prepare my pans, and this is kind of a trick of the trade, I'm sure a lot of you already know this, I coat it with coconut oil, because that's what we use, and then I take good old-fashioned flour, and I put the coconut oil on the inside of my pan, and I make sure it's coated with that flour, because cheesecake will stick to that rim, and this is going to help it so it doesn't.
So we're going to get right to it. You are going to need 1 can of condensed milk. That's the 14-ounce can. 3 eggs. You're going to need 2 packages of cream cheese. You can use full fat or 1/3 fat, whatever you want. You're going to need some sugar. I use 1/3 cup sugar. I keep it on the light side. I don't like to use a lot of sugar. If you like it a little bit sweeter, you can add more sugar. This recipe is very flexible. If you don't want any sugar, you can substitute it with the stevia. It works just as good. And you're also going to need some butter. I've already melted my butter. This is the butter I canned just a couple days ago. All right, we're going to prepare the crust by taking a full package and probably a half a package, depending on how thick you want your crust. And if you've got a handy food processor like I do, we're going to make these into crumbs. Otherwise, when I didn't have a food processor, just take your graham crackers, put them in a plastic Ziploc bag, and do it the old-fashioned way with a rolling pin. Okay, now you're going to take those crumbled graham crackers, and you're going to add melted butter. I don't have an exact measurement, probably a couple tablespoons, and you just want to coat those crumbs really good, because that's what's going to be. So you can see you put that butter in, it just coats it very nicely. You mix that up, and then we're going to add it to our floured pan, and we're going to press it right to the bottom. The next step is now we are going to start mixing all the ingredients together. You're going to take your softened cream cheese, start mixing that until it's nice and fluffy. And then we're going to add the condensed milk. Add the 3 eggs and keep mixing. Okay, here's the great thing about this recipe, where you can really become creative. This is the base batter. It's wonderful just the way I made it. In fact, I'm going to add just a little bit of vanilla to give it a little bit of a kick. But at this point, you can do a lot of different things. You can add white chocolate chips to this batter. I used to add some of the really tiny chocolate chips to the batter. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff you can do. And if you want a little more batter, all you have to do is add another package of cream cheese. That's it. You don't have to, go back and add more condensed milk or more of this or more of that. Now, this is going to be a pretty sweet batter, and if you see, I had a 1/3 cup of sugar to be added to this batter. But you know what? I think today, and I'm going to taste this. Oh yeah, it doesn't need any sugar, so taste it. If you don't think it's sweet enough, then you go ahead and you add your own sugar or your stevia or whatever. But it tastes really good just the way it is. And then we're just going to take that batter and pour it into our springboard or your cake pan. Okay, the batter's in the pan, and we've got my oven at 325. So in it goes. Goodbye! So you're really going to watch any cheesecake very closely, but you know when it's done when you stick the knife in. I'm sure you all know this, and it comes out clean. So this looks like it's clean. I'm going to turn off the oven, and I'm going to leave it out here in the oven with the door open to cool slowly. Well, as the cheesecake is cooling, I'm in my pantry in my big bucket of chocolate chips, and it looks like there's been a mouse. I think my husband found the chocolate chips. Boy, is he sneaky. Look at that. He just makes a big old hole in the side of it and helps himself. I was going to be a good wife and melt some of those chocolate chips and put them on the cheesecake. Do Do you have this problem at home too? But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take about 1.5 cups of chocolate chips, and for this recipe, you can stop watching now because it's basically done. But I'm going to melt some chocolate chips and put a nice glaze over it. Here is the finished product. Doesn't that cheesecake look awesome? So this is the plan tonight. Make the cheesecake, and we already know it's going to be fast and easy, but act like you're really slaved in the kitchen all day. And then perhaps, this is part of the plan, perhaps then you'll get like a free spa treatment or a massage or maybe even a free meal out of it yourself. This cheesecake can get you a lot of places with your husband and the rest of your kids. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video, and make the cheesecake. You won't regret it.